We're missing Jem. Got everybody else here for roll call. Go around. Could we get an approval of minutes?
I'll move approval of the minutes for December 7th, January 18th, and February 1st.
I'll second it.
So if you need,
Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
we don't vote, so we don't have to vote. We're not voting members. We're just advisory.
You guys, is staff asking for all these minutes to be signed? Is that what
But you
this?
could do that.
Okay, no, I know. I'm just, it was on here. All right, first item up is, of course, a quasi judicial, can't even talk. Want to go to item, do I have to read that whole procedure again?
No, you just have to read Elise Elder, Deputy County Attorney. You just need to read the title and the summary right there on the agenda.
Last time I read it. Okay. Item number NPH-1, Brian and Oksana Reeves for rezoning, and R116-002. Do we have anybody?
So you need to ask if there's ex parte communications for the board members?
Yeah, that's what I was fixing to do.
Yep.
I'm on it. Tell you, I get it right by December. Go ahead.
I don't.
I do not.
I do not.
Okay. All right.
Swear in the witnesses?
Oh, we have witnesses?
Anybody giving
Can I get an amen?
Is the applicant going to testify?
Anybody testifying on the project needs to come forward.
So if you're going to testify, just stand up and raise your right hand, please, to be sworn in.
You swear or affirm that evidence you are about to give will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
I do.
Okay. And there are no interveners? So, and then the notice, the applicant will turn in the notice when they come up.
Okay.
Great. I'm John Sennett, Senior Planner with Growth Management. I'm here to present the rezoning application for the property owned by Brian and Oksana Reeves. They're requesting to rezone from the current A1A Agricultural District to the RE 1/2A Residential Estate District. The property is located northwest of Salerno Road and southwest of Highland Avenue in Stewart. It's approximately 2.4 acres. It's currently undeveloped. The property owners wish to develop a single-family residence with customary accessory uses. The existing future land use of the property and the surrounding properties to the north, west, and south is the State Density 2 UPA designation. The rural density future land use is present to the east of the property. The existing zoning on the property and the surrounding properties to the west, south, and east is the A1A Agricultural District, which is a Category C zoning district. The Southwood Residential PUD is located to the north of the property. Because the current A1A zoning district is a Category C zoning district, this application is being processed as a mandatory rezoning to a Category A district, which implements the policies for the Estate Density 2 UPA future land use designation. There's one standard zoning district that implements the Estate Density 2 UPA future land use designation, which is the RE 1/2A Residential Estate District. A new PUD zoning district is an additional option for applicants. These are the development standards for the requested RE 1/2A district. Minimum open space of 50%, maximum building height 30 feet, front setback of 25 feet, rear and sides 15 feet. These are the conditions supporting the applicant's request for the RE 1/2A zoning district. The existing future land use designation of Estate Density 2 UPA is consistent with the RE 1/2A. The existing single-family residential and institutional uses in the area of the property is consistent with RE 1/2A. And the existing Southwood single-family residential PUD to the north of the property has overall density and lot sizes which are compatible with the requested RE 1/2A district. Development review staff have found the Reeves rezoning application to comply with all applicable regulations and the comprehensive growth management plan as detailed in the staff report. Staff recommends approving the request to rezone from A1A Agricultural District to RE 1/2A Residential Estate District. I'm here for any questions.
Board members, any questions?
This is a mandatory rezone?
Correct.
That was your question? Second, don't do too many. There's a count. We have to hear from the applicant if they,
We just need them to turn in their notices, and then if they don't have anything further, you can call for a vote.
is any, I don't think, did you get the notices,
The affidavit and notice.
John? Oh, you can come up.
Thank you very much.
Only two of us bite.
You just have to
Yeah,
guess.
you just got to
which
figure
two.
out which ones. And introduce yourself, sir.
Good evening. My name is Brian Reeves. I'm the property owner. I don't have anything additional to add. I think John and the staff have presented the application as I'm satisfied with.
Okay.
So if there's any questions or anything else that you all need from me,
Madam Chair, I'll make a motion to recommend approval.
Okay.
Okay, we just need to call for public comment, too.
Thank you, Mr. Reed. You may take a seat.
great. Thank you very much.
Do we have anybody from the public? Okay, don't bum rush us. Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. Okay, so moved.
Thank you, members of the LPA.
Thank you. John. Sorry, I don't, had Brian there. You guys confused me. Okay, next up is item NPH-2, Land Development Regulations 24-02, Solar Energy Facilities. The public hearing to consider a request to amend Article 10, Development Review Procedures, Section 10.2C, Table 2.2C1, Thresholds for Review, Land Development Regulations regarding solar energy facilities. Staff? Oh, hi.
Thank you, Chairman. Good evening, members of the LPA. I'm Pete Walden, the Deputy Growth Management Director. This is a legislative request to revise Article 10, Development Review Procedures. It's regarding only solar energy facilities. It's requested by Lucido and Associates on behalf of FPL.
Okay. Any questions for Pete?
I'm still going.
Oh, you paused too long.
I'm sorry. I'll try and speed up the presentation.
Talk a little faster.
Please don't breathe during the process.
Yeah. The lights will go out.
Okay.
All right.
Got my work cut out. All right, a little background. Article 10, Development Procedures, was created in '96. It was restructured in 2019. There's been a couple minor changes brought forward to the board since then. Also, Ordinance 1067 adopted criteria for solar facilities in Article 3 that just a few things that are specific to those uses. So the change is rather simple. We already have a lot of industry development that is already classified as minor developments. The main one is targeted industries. Any development on a lot platted in an industrial site plan is considered a minor site plan review because of the fact that the parameters would be set in a platted industrial site. And the idea is to make life a little easier for targeted industries to grow and prosper in the county. And this is a similar vein. Solar energy facilities are considered a targeted industry. It's a green industry, and with very minor implications to both the environment and the public. The facilities are limited to 15 feet height for the solar panels. They're only allowed on agricultural lands. Most of the lands that are targeted for them are fallow agricultural lands that aren't in production. So the development parameters do not change by making it a minor development application. The staff review is the same, and all the criteria is the same. The only thing that changes is that it doesn't need to go through the public hearing process, where there has been very little or no opposition to any of the solar farms presented thus far. So staff is in favor of the changes proposed. And you can see the one solar energy facilities consistent with sections 310. That is the few development criteria, and I can show those to you if needed. They're pretty straightforward, but that and all other site planning criteria has to be followed. And that concludes my presentation, and staff recommends approval.
I'll wait for that next time.
Okay. That's okay.
Does the board have any questions
No, not,
for Pete? Okay, applicant?
Yes. Good evening. For the record, my name is Morris Crady, senior partner with Lucido and Associates, and also a 30-year member of the American Institute of Certified Planners, here on behalf of FPL. And just to give you a little bit of my history, in 2018, I helped the county staff draft the regulations for solar facilities as they were becoming more and more popular. So we worked with FPNL and came up with criteria to make them consistently reviewed and approved by staff. And luckily, I've been able to actually process several applications for solar facilities under the guidelines in the current code. And we've had no opposition, no issues with surrounding property owners. And we have had a couple of projects that were approved, or at least one project approved adjacent to a residential development in Indiantown. And some other projects, they're very compatible with adjacent agricultural areas. And again, all of the requirements from wetland protection to height and everything else are all managed by way of the regulations in the code. So this is just trying to cut the procedure a little bit shorter to make it more efficient for staff's review and also for the applicant, and get these things online as quickly as possible. But because there's a couple board members here that weren't here when the regulations were adopted and these projects were approved, I'm going to have Will Sabarak with FPL come up and just give you an overview of some of the facilities that have been built in Martin County.
Thank you.
Thank you, Morris. I am Will Sabarak from Florida Power and Light. Good evening, and thank you, Peter, and the rest of staff for helping plan and present our proposal this evening. As Morris said, the purpose of this is to give a very high-level overview of the currently operational facilities that we have in Martin County. And if you could scroll, right here.
Sure, you can do it, or
There you go. Grab it. Great. So just a very, very high-level overview. Florida Power and Light currently serves right around 100,000 customers here in Martin County. And we do so with the assistance of these three solar energy centers that you see. Sweet Bay, Monarch, and Whitetail. The latter of the two, Monarch and Whitetail, just came online and are now operational as of the first of this year in 2024. So those are our newer facilities. And then the site that Morris referenced that we really like to showcase that was adjacent to, or is adjacent to, residential neighbors is Sweet Bay Solar. And if I go to this next slide here, you can really see how the site meanders and works with the land and doesn't just take up a unified footprint, but rather one that is consistent with the purpose of the land. And it works its way around wetlands, and we do what we can to buffer the neighbors according to the code. So we really, really like this site, and this picture, paints a great story of how we like to be, one with the land here in Martin County and then across the state as well. Another great example of how Monarch Solar and Whitetail Solar are very, very low profile, very clean, and consistent with the environment that they're placed in. And this is something that we really, really like to talk about as well. You can see some great wildlife photos here. Even down in Southwest Florida, we have instances where panthers are able to traverse our site. So it's not blocking them from their natural path and the natural habitat that they're in, but it's just a great showcase of how we look at what we do and try to not be too disruptive for the environment in which we place these energy facilities. And since day one, we've been great partners with Martin County, and I think that speaks to what we can do and how we can continue to be great neighbors. These energy facilities are clean, they're environmentally friendly, and all while trying to keep Florida residents' bills as low as possible. So very high level, quick overview, but happy to answer any additional questions about solar.
Board members? Oh, well, I do have a question.
Mm-hmm.
It's going to lower my bill.
That's the goal,
I didn't
yes.
see that on one of the characteristics there, so I'm just curious. Just teasing, because you can't answer that question. You have any,
I'm good.
you good? Okay,
No question, but soapbox, can we go soapbox for a little bit?
yeah.
Because I mean, I'm.
Comments from,
We don't take public comment.
is there public comment? Okay, again, no bubble machine, so you're good to go. Well, go ahead.
Yeah, this is a soapbox, and I don't know what it's worth, but I just find it really just wrong that we had people that want to change the zoning that's a mandatory zoning. They had to show up here tonight. And now got a multi-billion-dollar company that they're asking us to change the rules to make it easier on them. I find that distasteful. So, and then the whole thing was solar. You made this fallow ground that you're buying. All of it you bought has been producing something. I mean, there was cows there. One of them that you've bought recently had sod and cane and vegetables and sweet corn. And so I'm just not in favor of solar. I mean, if you're going to do something, especially with the piece you bought on 76, you got Lake Okeechobee and you got a big canal that we want to get rid of that water. Put a nuke plant there. I mean, nuke is a whole lot better than a solar farm. And I look at these and I hate them. I just hate a solar farm. It's just non-productive, taking away ground that we can farm and feed people. And there's no future. And if it wasn't for government subsidies, and I don't know if there's subsidies or tax breaks, they wouldn't work. They wouldn't pay. So, this is soapbox, but I just can't support it. I just don't like the idea that this young couple came in. We don't make it easier on them, but now, and I love FPL, you great service. I agree with all that. I've been an FPL customer for all my life, and so that's not what I'm saying. I'm not attacking FPL, okay? Don't take it personal. It's a good company. My son's father-in-law worked there for a long time and really loves it. But to me, if we're going to make it easy on a multi-billion-dollar company, we sure ought to be able to do it for the regular citizen. And I just have a problem with it. My apologies, but you got me on the soapbox, and I just couldn't stand it.
No, we appreciate your comments and opinion. Thank you very much.
But really, what you bought on 76, that'd be a great spot for a nuke plant.
I think Rick and I will have been deceased by the time you get your okays to put it there.
I'm afraid.
Well, that might be true, but, we can suck all the water out of C-44 and circulate it and clean it and make it better than it is, when it gets to the river. So think about it. I mean,
Did you need a new team member?
need one.
Nothing? I didn't volunteer you for anything.
Madam
Yes.
Chair,
Yes.
I disagree with what Rick said about FPL and about solar and everything else. However, I do agree that once we start, we have started, but when we take the transparency out of what we do, and it takes about 10 minutes to get approval, it takes you much longer to go through everything, but you have to go through it anyways. So who knows if someone from the public would ever make a complaint and come in here when we do have a solar farm or go to the commission. I think they have a right to come in and to know that they will be heard. So unless we're going to do everything as a form-based code, I don't like it when we just do certain things. So I cannot support this either.
Okay. Looking at you.
I'm just going to wimp
We got
out.
two soapboxes down here.
I actually like solar, so I don't want one in my backyard, but we do have to do something. I'm not a huge fan of power plants. I had a brother-in-law that worked in one and watched the demise of it up in Massachusetts. So I don't like having a nuclear reactor in my neighborhood. But so I would support it.
The only thing I'm going to say, Bob, it's not whether we support it, because I know I voted for these type plants, solar fields. So I don't have anything wrong with it. I just think that people should have the right to come in and address this board and address the commission when we're going to alter the land if they are neighbors to it. That's my reason, not because I'm against it. I think it's a great thing, solar power. I agree with you. I'd rather have solar than almost anything else. So, but I just feel that we shouldn't take it out of the public realm. And that's my objection.
Well, then fundamentally, we know we're going to have to increase our food supply by 50% by the year 2050. We're already a net importer of food. And the ground that we're putting solar farms on, and this is not just Florida, this is the Midwest, Indiana, Illinois. I mean, it's scary. This is good ground. I mean, they're not putting this on ground that's,
Could amend it. and take the public-
sorry stuff. It's on good ground. And where are we going to feed ourselves?
Commissioner will pass it on Tuesday.
Okay. All right,
Enough soapbox, I apologize.
that's okay. Can we take your soapbox away?
So is there a motion?
Right now, there's not.
Well, there could be a motion to deny, there could be a motion to deny recommending approval, or, right, so somebody,
All right, I'll make a motion to approve it.
that's going to die unless there's a second, but Ms. Norton, you could pass the gavel and second it, or it can die and then maybe someone else can make the
The opposite motion.
Is there a second? Okay, second?
Do you want a second?
We gotta pass it.
You have to, then Tom has to take, Mr. Campani would take over the public hearing if you're going to second.
Okay?
Okay,
Second. Is there any public comment on the motion? Seeing none? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Opposed?
so it does not pass.
Power of the gavel. You want it next?
Okay.
I think it's neutral.
It's
Yeah.
neutral, it doesn't pass, so the motion doesn't pass, so there's no recommendation to the board because you're deadlocked, basically.
We don't.
Yeah, I know it's okay, Morris. Don't worry about it. Tuesday's coming.
No, I mean, it's just that there's no other choice. I mean, we
Yeah.
have to go with a neutral recommendation.
Yeah.
Because I think that Congress would have been true too.
Would you like-
Yeah, I mean,
No, you're right.
I think if y'all would have recommended denial, it had the same outcomes.
Right, it's happened before, it's just there's no recommendation to the board.
Okay.
Let the board off the hook.
No, it doesn't.
Thank you very much for your time.
Thank you.
All being recorded?
Okay.
TV right now.
I know.
Your husband's watching it.
Nope, not married.
Just like to let the board know that we do have a couple items for the June 6th LPA meeting. I'd like to canvass the board real quick to make sure that we're going to have a quorum on June 6th.
No, I will not be there.
Tom. Anybody else know the available?
Not that quick.
Okay.
That's how Harold got me to sit up here.
John, June 6th, you said?
June 6th.
Yeah, I already have it on my calendar. I'm good.
And I got my calendar in the truck. I don't know how to do it on my phone, so I'll get back to you.
Okay. Very good. Staff has nothing else for the evening.
I will be here.
Well, great. Thank you.
Affirmative.
Okay, obviously, we don't have any more public comment.
Are they going to be contentious?
Excuse me?
Are they going to be contentious?
I don't know.
You should check your special email and read the agenda. All right, with nothing, board, any other final comments or anything, members, gentlemen?
Make a motion to adjourn.
Okay,
A second.
all right, all in favor, skedaddle.